So, it's happened. Effectively, immediately today, at least for now, it's looking like Biden won. Am I really surprised that Biden won? Not really. Why is this, you may ask? Well, it's relatively that simple. The fact of the matter is, I've been kind of expecting this would happen. Because let's be real here. Powers that be in the United States Democratic Party, the establishment, they've been planning this moment for fucking years. How long, in fact? Well, they've been planning for this exact fucking moment ever since November 9th of 2016 happened. The day Orange Man, Donald Trump, got elected to be president. Up until that moment, as most, if not all of you, remember, everyone always thought, Hillary was going to win. Hillary Clinton was going to be the next president of the United States. There was no way in God's green earth Donald Trump was going to win. It was pretty much Hillary Clinton's race. It was all going to be over soon. Hillary Clinton was going to be announced to be president of the United States. We would never again have to hear about Orange Man. And then November 9th happened. And Orange Man won. And Orange Man would be the 45th president of the United States for the next 4 years. And ever since that fucking moment, that's when the ball started rolling. That's when they start getting ready to gear up for the shit show we just fucking witnessed. And they were going to do everything they can to make sure that their next candidate got in the fucking office. And like I said, they were going to do everything that they can within their power to ensure that under no circumstances would Orange Man serve another 4 years in office. Every other election up until now, regardless if it was a Republican or Democrat running, you would normally get the results on election day. The fact that it would have to take us up until now, up until this very moment, to find out who our next president was going to be, is a fucking disgrace to this country, the electoral system as a whole. But, at the same time, I kind of expected it. I knew this was going to happen. I just had no idea whether or not they would succeed. But they were planning this moment. Now, I've noticed a lot of people on Twitter saying, oh, this is going to be the 2000 elections all over again. In 2000, they declared that Al Gore won, and then not that long afterwards, George Bush won. George Bush became president. And you're seeing all of these fucking people on Twitter saying, oh, this is going to be 2000 all over again. This is going to be 2000 all over again. It's going to come down to the courts. And since the Supreme Court is filled up of Trump picks, since the Supreme Court leans more conservative, it'll be fine. Orange Man will win. I don't think so. I truly, honestly don't think so. We're not going to get a repeat of 2000. Because they ain't going to let it. They ain't going to fucking let it happen. There's people holding out for hope. There are people still legitimately thinking we're going to have a repeat of fucking 2000 all over again. And at the end of the day, the courts are going to rule in Trump's favor. Orange Man gets to be president for another 4 fucking years. Well, It ain't gonna be like that. Because they ain't gonna fucking allow it. They just ain't. They've been planning for this moment ever since Trump won the race in 2016. And they got their way. They gave Trump 4 years of hell with the whole Russian hack the election shit. We all know that was a hoax. Yeah, we still allowed them to get away with it. We thought we would get a repeat of 2016 with the Hunter Biden laptop leaks, with all the shit that was coming out of it. We thought we were gonna get another one of those, but we didn't, because they were preparing for that. And now it's all over. Our vote, it don't mean shit. It don't mean shit to them anymore. It really doesn't. They can pretend that it does, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter anymore. So, it's over. This is it. This is the end. 4 years ago, the American people made a choice to allow a New York billionaire businessman, a man with no experience in politics whatsoever, to become the president of the United States. They elected a man who would take the fight to the establishment, who would fight for the people. And they couldn't handle that. And so, they've decided that if they couldn't have their way in 2016, they were going to have their way in 2020. And they were going to do everything that they can within their power to ensure that they would get their way in 2020. And they would do everything that they could to make sure that they win second time around. I'm surprised they didn't stage a fucking coup or a revolution or a fucking civil war didn't kick off in the 4 years Trump's been in office. But they played the waiting game. Played the waiting game they did. And now it's all over. The American people lost today. There ain't nothing we can do about it. Donald Trump and them, they can try to set up all these fucking, lawsuits and shit all they like. But it don't matter. It don't matter. Donald Trump thinks he can play from their fucking rule book, but he ain't gonna succeed. It's gonna go to Biden whether we want to admit it or not. So, yeah. It's over. The American people, the average Joe, their voice, our voice, my voice, it don't matter no more. The people in power, the people who really pull all the strings, they decide who wins and loses now. The American people no longer has a voice. They like to pretend we have a voice, but we really don't. Because the voice that they say that we have, that's not our voice. That's their voice. That's their fucking voice. Telling us that we, the average American, have voted for Biden. When in reality, we never did no such thing. We never, ever did. And it's over now. If there's anything I learned this past week or so now, past couple days, is that the American people has no voice no more. And there's going to be people out there saying, you don't have to take this lying down. Go on Instagram, go on Snapchat, go on Facebook and Twitter, go on YouTube saying, I'm not going to take this shit standing down. I'm going to fight back. You haven't heard the last of me. guess what? You can try all you want. But at the end of the day, that shit won't matter either. Because you can try to make a YouTube video like I'm making right now. You can go on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and saying that you're not going to take this shit. You really think they care? They control the social media sites. They control everything. The people that just decided to put Biden in power, they control Facebook. They control Twitter. They control Instagram and Snapchat and YouTube. And you think they're going to allow you to speak your mind? They ain't. They ain't going to let you speak your mind. They sure as shit will never, as of this moment, allow you to speak your mind ever again. The only way I can see Orange Man maintaining power at this rate is if Donald Trump just launches a coup and takes power for himself. We burn democracy to the ground. We allow Trump to become the dictator. The very thing the liberals have been autistically screeching for years that he would become. That's the only way Biden's never going to get into power. That's the only way the establishment's ever going to lose at this rate. Is if Orange Man says, fuck it. I'm president for life and there's nothing you can do about it. That's the only way. And if you think you can launch a revolution or a fucking civil war in this country, you're out of your mind. United States military will squash any and all rebellions and civil dissent in a heartbeat. We have fucking machines that could fly from some airbase in the middle of fucking Montana. We can have that fucking machine fly halfway across the globe and bomb the shit out of some fucking stone hut in the middle of Iraq. If we just even get one little sliver of information that there might be a terrorist cell just hanging out there. If we have machines that could do that, if we have machines that could fly halfway across the globe to blow up a fucking rickety stone hut, all because we just got some rumor that there may or may not be some terrorists lying about. If we have machines that could do that, imagine what kind of machines we have that can quash rebellions in this fucking country. Some people were also saying, well, that will never happen. The military will side with the American people. You really think so? You really honestly think so? The fucking military faced off against its own kind once before. And they'll do it again. And whereas our last civil war lasted 4 or 5 years, the next one, it ain't gonna last that long. Couple of months to a year, maybe. But regardless, the rebels, they're gonna lose. There's nothing we can do now. It's all over. We no longer have a voice. We just don't. It's all over now. Now all we can do is just hope and pray to God that however long Biden remains in power, we just hope that the next 4 to maybe 8 years will be a relatively decent time for this country. Maybe things won't be as bad as we think they're gonna get. I highly doubt it, but at the end of the day, we gotta do what we gotta do to survive. That's what this species has always been about. doing everything that it can within its power to fucking survive. Yeah. Really wasn't expecting this. At least so soon. Thought maybe we would have a few more days. Thought maybe at the very least Trump would have won at least one more state or two. You know, maybe Trump was gonna win Nevada and Pennsylvania. Maybe Trump would have gotten those, but yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna look into those fucking those little lawsuits here. Maybe it'll turn out it was actually all voter fraud and Trump was actually the winner, and we'll get another 4 years of Trump, but at the way everything's going right now, I highly doubt it. So yeah. Not a very optimistic video for a not so optimistic day. I'll catch you around.